Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mayowa, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this hair dress. I'm going to be walking you through how I made this Maxi gypsy dress, and I'm sure you're going to love this just as much as I love it when you make one for yourself. So let's start. Since the dress, that is the gypsy dress, is going to be cut at the waist, so we're going to have like a joining at the waist. I'm going to be doing the drafting of the pattern in two separate bits. So this pattern here, right here, is for the lower parts of the dress. So I'm going to be showing you how to draft a quarter circle skirt, and then the quarter circle skirt, you know that from the picture you can see that it is divided into two. So I'm going to be starting with the upper part of the skirt. So for the upper part of the skirt, I'll be using a quarter circle skirt for circle skirt pattern for this. So I've already drawn my border lines on my pattern. So this part is going to, this border line here is going to serve as my zip allowance, and this border line is going to serve as, here is going to serve as my side seam allowance. That is my side allowance. Now I already have a video on how to draft a full circle pattern. If that is what you would like if you want it fuller than what I'm about to draft now, you can check out that video right on top of your screen. You would see it there. So but for this, I'm going to be doing a quarter circle pattern, and also you can see that there is a little bit of gathers on the dress. So for that, I'm going to be multiplying my waist by 2. So my actual waist measurement is 28 inches. So I'm going to add like maybe 20 inches, or maybe I'll just double it depending on how much fabric you have. So you can just double that, your waist measurement, or you add like maybe 20 inches to it to give you some space to gather it. So after doubling mine, so 28 plus 28 is I think 56. So that 56 inches, I'm going to be using this formula. So I'm going to get, so this is my new waist measurement, this 56, because I want to gather my waist. I want to gather the waist of my circle. So I'm going to get that waist measurement. I'll multiply by 2.5 centimeter to convert it to centimeter, and then I'll subtract 5 cm from whatever I get here, and then I'll divide it by 6. So that is the formula for getting my quarter circle skirt. So I'm going to measure that. I'm going to calculate that right now. So I have 22.5 cm here. So I'm going to start from the point of origin here. This part here is the point of origin. I hope you can see that. Let me move this closer. So this part here is the point of origin. So I'm going to place my tape measure right there, and then I'll measure 22.5 cm. I'll measure this way. So I have 22.5 here. Then I'll slant my tape measure again. And this is my first radius. So this is my waist radius. So since once you're done with this, I'm going to measure the length of my skirt. So that is how long I want my skirt to be. So you know that is divided into 2. So my skirt bit has like 2 tiers. So this is the upper tier, this is the first tier. So my first tier is going to be, the length of my first tier is going to be from my waist down to my knee level, and that is like okay, I measured from my shoulder to my waist, and that is 42 inches. So from my shoulder to my I measured from my shoulder to my knee rather, and that is 42 inches, and then my shoulder to my waist, that is my actual waist, is 16 inches. So when I'm placing my tape measure here, instead of placing it like this, I'm going to move it forward to 16 inches or 15.9 rather. My shoulder to my waist is 15.9. So you place it this way, and then I'm going to measure straight down to 42 inches. So I'm going to do this all the way, this way, all the way down, and then all the way down until I get my second radius for the second tier. So I'm just going to do that bit now, and then I'll show you what everything would look like. Now this is what my first tier is going to look like. So I added a bit of paper here because my paper wasn't long enough to accommodate the length of my skirt. So yeah, this is from my waist to my knee, from my waist to my knee, from my waist to my knee, and this is the allowance. That is my waist allowance, and really that is all. This is still my zip allowance. This is my side seam allowance. This is ½ inch, this is 1 inch, this is 1 inch. So yeah, so for the second tier, all you have to do is just measure around the circumference of this, that is this bit here. You measure it round, then you multiply by 2, and then you cut a long sorry then you cut a long strip of fabric for that part. So the second tier is going to be you measure from your knee to your full length. That is how long you want the final dress to be. So that will be the length of your second tier, and the width will be you measuring your circumference, that's this part, then you multiply by 2, because we're going to be gathering that also back to this bit, and that is all for the lower part of your dress. So now let's move to the upper part of your dress. So all you have to do for this now is to place this on your fabric. Then when you're cutting for the front, you place your zip allowance side here, you fold it up to cut your front. So you have this part unfold for your front, and then when you're cutting the back, you leave your zip allowance side open. So you get the drift. So you're going to have 2 pieces of fabric. For the front will be unfold, for the back will be left open. So the back is going to be in 2s. So yeah, let's move ahead to the upper part of your dress. Now for the upper part, just get your basic bodice pattern, and this is my basic bodice pattern. If you don't know how to draft a basic bodice pattern, please check out the video tutorial right on top of your screen to find out how. So yeah, for the upper part of my dress, I'm going to first come right here to my back, to my across chest level. This is my across chest level. So from there I'm going to go down by 1 inch. So from there I'm going to go down by 1 inch, and this is it right here. You can see that. So then on this bit, on this line again, this 1 inch line that I just marked, I'm going to go in by 1.5 inches, and this is what I have here. Or better still, to get an accurate part for this bit, all you have to do is just to measure the distance between your bra straps. So you divide that by 2, and then you locate it. If the distance between your 2 bra straps is 10 inches, you divide that by 2. Whatever you have, you mark it instead of doing it this way, or anyone sure, you can do it any way you want. Then you come right here. I'm going to, from my armhole level here, I'm going to go up by 3 inches, or 2.5 inches rather. So I'll mark that here. Then that will be my neck level. So I'm going to draw this. I'm going to connect this way. Then you connect this back to your armhole. And that's that for the front part of your dress. So all you have to do is just place a fresh piece of paper underneath this, and then you trace all of this out. So, and then you trace in your darts also. So after then, for the back, because I want my back like really low, I'm going to come right here and then right at my waist level here. So right at my waist level here, I'm going to go up by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to pick up my French curve and draw a curved line from here down to my armhole level. So yeah, this is it. I'm going to place a piece of paper underneath this and then I'll trace all of this out together with your darts, and that completes the upper part of your dress. So you know that you're going to be adding straps to this, so all you have to do is to measure what you have from here. I'm going to draw my straps in and then I'll measure. And this is my front strap, so it's going to be attached to the dress. So I'm just going to measure what I have. So I have 6 inches and then I'll write it there somewhere. So I'm just going to write front strap 6 inches. Then I'll do the same also for the back piece. Then back strap also is 11.5 inches. So I'm just going to add both of them together. So 11 plus 6, that's 17, that's 17.5 inches. That is going to be the length of my strap. So I'm just going to cut that on my fabric and then we'll be attaching that to our dress when we are sewing it. So remember to raise this up, like before tracing all of this out. If you decide to use this armhole like this, you're going to have a gaping armhole. So to avoid that, you're going to have to raise the underarm up by like 1 inch. Then after raising it up by 1 inch, you shift it in again by 1 inch again. Then you reconnect this from here back to this point here. And that's it. So once you are tracing, this will be the new armhole you'll be tracing this here. So you'll be ignoring this one. So this is what my front piece would look like after tracing it out. I already traced out my dart also. I'm sure you can't see it, so but it's already traced out on this pattern. So this is what my front is going to look like, and this is what my back piece is going to look like. So I'm just going to add in all my allowances now, and then I'll cut this on my fabric. So yeah. So these are all my cutout pieces. This is my front piece, this is my back piece, this is my strap, and then I already cut interfacing also for this. So this is my interfacing, this is the interfacing also for the front. So yeah, all I have to do is just iron all of this now and start sewing it. But first I'm going to be starting my sewing with the lower part. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is to gather this part of my waist, that is the waist of my dress, back to my actual waist measurements. And then I'll also pick up the long strip and also gather that also and attach to this part, that is the circumference right here. So this is the one I'm going to be attaching to the lower part here. So I'm also going to gather this one here and also attach to my dress, or to my skirt rather. So to attach it, I'm not going to place it right sides together because I want this part to be on top of the dress. So I'm going to be attaching it like on top of it. I'll place this on top like this and then attach to the lower part. So I'm now going to go do all of that now, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So slight change of plans, guys. I tried to loosen up the gathers I was sewing onto this, because if I try to like continue gathering this, I won't have enough fabric to attach to the circumference, that is the lower part of my skirt. I won't have enough fabric for it. So since ungathered, the waist of this is is the waist of this captures both my front and back at the same time, so without gathering. So I'm just going to use it like this. I'm just going to attach like this to the upper part of my dress without gathering. So yeah, so now I've loosened up all the gather stitches. So now I'm just going to go attach this straight away to the long strip of fabric that I cut earlier, that will be attaching to the the circumference of our skirt. So I'm just going to do that now. And this right here is our completed dress. You can see I've already fixed in my zipper here. You can see. Then I joined my side seam too, and pretty much that's everything. And this is what this bit is going to look like. You can see this is how we attached it. You can see. So this bit here was placed on top of this bit here instead of placing it right sides together. So we placed it right on top. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, guys. Like this video and type in the comment section if you have any questions.